All right. Um, the breakdown of the book of Revelations. Today we're in chapter 16, y'all. Okay, so what does Revelation chapter 16 mean? Revelation chapter 16 resumes the account of God's judgment on the wicked. It describes the bowl judgment, the third seven-part series of God's wrath described in the book of Revelation. Prior to this were seven seal judgments, the last of which were trumpets. The trumpet judgment totaled seven, the last of which were these bowls of the wrath of God. The first bowl judgment brings harmful and painful sores to those who carry the mark of the beast. The second judgment turns the sea into blood and kills all marine life. The third bowl judgment turns rivers and springs into blood. Unlike prior incidents where some portion of the sea or rivers were affected, this event appears to ruin all waters throughout the earth, throughout the entire heaven. Throughout the entire earth. What are you reading, girl? And that is Revelation 16, 1 through 4. Following the third bowl judgment, an angel declares that God is just to avenge the wicked for their murderous acts against the saints and the prophets. The angel's declaration is met with full agreement from a voice from the altar. That's Revelation 16, 5 through 7. The fourth judgment scorches the wicked with fire, but instead of repenting, unbelievers curse God. This might refer to a reduction in Earth's natural protection from the sun, allowing it to burn the people of Earth. The fifth bowl judgment plunges the kingdom of the beast into darkness, period. Wicked respond by gnawing their tongue in anguish and by cursing God. The sixth judgment dries up the Euphrates, okay, to prepare the way for the kings of the east. Next, demons assemble the king of the whole earth to battle against God at a location referred to as Armageddon, which means the hill or mountain of Megiddo. And that's Revelations chapter 16, 8 through 16. The seventh bowl judgment brings about an earthquake that splits Jerusalem into three parts. As a result of the earthquake, cities worldwide fall. Babylon feels God's wrath, islands flee, mountains crumble, and hailstones weighing about 100 pounds bombard people. Jeez Louise. Still, the wickedness refuse to repent. Instead, they curse God. That's crazy. Revelation 16, 17 through 20. At this point, earth has been fatally ruined, and the tribulation is all but over. Whew. Chapters 17 and 18 will go into greater detail. Some of it poetic and descriptive to further explain the fall of the wicked. Chapter 19 will resume the moment by moment description of Jesus of the end time, including the second coming of Jesus Christ. I told you I just keep getting better and better. There's a chapter context. Revelation 16 resumes the account of God's judgment on the wicked. It describes the bowl judgment, the third and final series of judgments. The seven seal judgments of Revelation 6, 1 through 17, and Revelation chapter 8, verse 1 are the first series of judgments. The trumpet judgments of Revelation 8, 1 through 9, and then 21, verse 21, and 11, chapter 11, verse 15 are next. All of these judgments vent God's wrath and recognized as the day of his wrath and the wrath of the Lamb. Revelation 6 and 17. Chapter 17 and 18 further describes the destruction caused by the judgment. Revelation 19 and 20 will describe the accumulation of God's wrath and the final events of the end time. Okay, for my second breakdown. Revelation 16 describes the pouring out of the seven bowls of God's wrath upon the earth, representing the accumulation of divine judgment against the wicked. Okay. These bowls unleash a series of plagues and catastrophes, highlighting the unrepentant nature of humanity in the final battle of Armageddon. The chapter emphasizes God's sovereignty over creation and his justice in punishing sin, while also revealing humanity's continued rejection of God, even in the face of these judgments. Mm. The seven bowls of wrath, each, this is the breakdown of the breakdown. I think, I don't know. Okay, I do know, y'all. Don't take me serious with that. So the seven bowls of wrath, each of these seven angels pours out a bowl, unleashing a specific plague or disaster upon the earth. Plagues and judgment. These include painful sores, turning the sea and rivers to blood, scorching heat and darkness, and a great earthquake. Unrepentant humanity. Despite these devastating events, people refuse to repent and instead curse God. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Sorry, I just had to take a beat to let that sink in. Okay, Armageddon. The chapter accumulates with the gather of armies for the final battle at Armageddon, signifying the ultimate clash between good and evil. God's justice and sovereignty. Revelation 16 underscores God's righteousness in judging sin and his ultimate control over all creation, including the forces of evil. Final, Finality. I don't know how you pronounce this word. Finalitety of judgment. The pouring out of the seven bowls represents the end of God's wrath and the final T. There we go. Final T of judgment. Okay. So the pouring out of the bowls represents the end of God's wrath and the final T of judgment through the book of Revelation continues to describe the aftermath and the ultimate victory of Christ because he is going to have the ultimate victory. Mm. That is just, it's so good and it's also like so reassuring. I feel like Revelations is just like a big hug to believers. Like, I'm warning you, I love you. Come here, my people, I love you. I'm warning you. This is what you need to look out for. This is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do. Just rely on me. I'm here. Okay. So in this is Revelation 16 serves as a powerful depiction of God's judgment, consequences of sin, and the ultimate triumph of of good over evil in the end times. Okay. Excuse me, y'all. I think that is so good. Oh, that's so good. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys later.